This is the Maida Initiative, conversation without compromise.
The struggle I have in a lot of mosques is that people just have a uniform culture. I'm not sure if it's like that in churches, but there's a way of, everybody thinks that you have to think the same, you have to respond, you have to believe the same thing about everything, you have to look the same, you have to dress the same, and that's how what we call Muslims in our mosque. And I find that weird because I think that like God created us all different for us to look and think the same, or God, like, you know, dress the same, or like there's gonna be an outlier. But I just don't like how the Muslim community like makes you feel like an outlier, and like just because you didn't follow the Sheikh, it's like you're done for. It's like we're all coming at you, like you're the problem. Get the F off the mosque. You know what I mean? It's just weird. It's like, bro, I just didn't listen to him on this one topic. Like, he's still a cool good dude. I just don't agree with him on this. And I told him why I don't agree with it. He's cool with it. Why are you mad? So I just wish that like people of faith allowed critical thinking to exist and like normalized it, and didn't make people who think about things or question things like feel like outliers. Because I feel like they're the ones who are going to make the change. Not they're the ones who are going to actually follow the faith. Because these people who just have this little uniform culture, like I think a lot of people just love this, have a fetish of being called people of faith and like religious, like all these fancy words, but they don't do the work. They don't do it. So.
Well, it's ironic in some ways, because the Muhammad himself was the first one to think the way he thought in the place he was living, right? So in theory, Muslim culture should celebrate individualism, and at least as far as being willing to sort of think on a different trajectory than everyone else is. I find British culture the same, actually. That's one thing I love about being in America, is that I think British people in general don't like new ideas until they're already successful, and they're like, oh yeah, we always like this. Whereas in America, people are far more willing to try things, and I like that.
Mm-hmm. That's the funny thing. So it's like, as an American Muslim, I hate British Muslims sometimes because they have that weird. They're pissing me off. I can literally go on around how much British Muslims piss me off, but they have that thing where like if somebody's doing something different, or like there's a Muslim activist out there, they just have to like refute them and like just come at them, and like they just have this weird thing of saying no. But the moment I like Black Lives Matter, for instance, a lot of like British Muslims and like conservative Muslims are like, oh, we can't say that. It's not Islamic to say that. We're not going to go against it. Our mosque will not be saying that. We're not going to be talking about that. 2 weeks ago, when it became like mainstream, British Muslims were like, Black Lives Matter. They're promoting it. They're tweeting it. And I was like, you're just waiting for this to go mainstream. You can never be the leaders in anything. Like, and I think that maybe it's British culture, but a lot of British Muslims and some conservative Muslims just wait for things to be mainstream, or like society is okay with it, for them to come out and accept it. And I think that's just like super problematic, like Islamically speaking, because I think Muslims were always the leaders of the world. Like if you look at Islamic history, like even Prophet Muhammad, like the stuff he said was so strange that, you know, his society, like it took so much years for them to come to terms with it. So I don't understand why Muslims now can't grasp that. There's a lot of follower his culture going on.
Well, I think I think a big part of it, right, is if you look at the Islamic Golden Age, there was a school of thought called the Mu'tazilites, and coinciding with them, there's this idea of ijtihad, this idea of like the struggle of the mind. But then towards the end of the Islamic Golden Age, people decide, okay, all the major questions are settled, and it's not your job to do ijtihad anymore. The idea is taqwa, right? That okay, you just find, because all the questions have been solved, you just find a scholar to imitate and copy that person, rather than wrestling through it yourself.
Yeah.
And so you've always had this battle in the Muslim world of people who want to really do the work of wrestling with the material, and the people who are saying, no, don't ask questions, find someone to copy and just listen and go about your life.
Yeah. I think it's weird. I also think that like the whole notion of like finding one person to listen to is like super weird. Like for me, it's like, I'm not even saying like come up with new ways of thinking, like asking any questions. I'm just figuring out why do you think that, you know, we can be homophobic? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why do you think that Muslims can be homophobic? That's not like, you know, I think that's not okay because of this, or like you just said something that's super ableistic. Like, you know, why are you using that word? And like, it's like little things. And I think that like people are like, no, don't question the Sheikh, he's right. But I'm like, I'm sorry, but in this aspect, the Sheikh was wrong because he's saying something that's wrong and it's offending millions of people. I think it's important for us to like engage in dialogue to figure out why he thinks the way he thinks. And and then a lot of times, like for my example, it's like a lot of times the people of knowledge or the people I'm questioning, they're okay with the dialogue. It's their followers who are like, nope, you may not question this man. This man is so knowledgeable. How dare you disrespect them? And it's like, I'm literally just asking him. It's like a professor. You just got all this information. I'm trying to figure out what's true, what's not. How can I come to terms with it? And it's like, I can't even ask you a question now. Like, that's weird.
Yeah, what you're describing is, I think, is common. That people are not willing to look at truth because they want certainty, right? They just want to be comfortable. And the quest for truth is always more difficult than that, because sometimes the truth can take you to some places that are comfortable, right? Because if you go on a quest for God and your conclusion is, wow, God is exactly like me. He loves the things I like and hates the things I hate. It's like, wow, how convenient, right?
Yeah. It's like, also, I feel like they don't grow that way. Like with our podcast, which is why like we kind of like wanted to talk about like different things that we had to struggle and like grasp. But I think that, like you said, a lot of people think that they just want to find a religion, or they just want to find a God that's like just like them and their way of thinking. But I think that's not what faith is. I think faith is important to grasp and like struggle. Like the concept of struggle is so important in faith, because I think that's when your faith grows, and that's when you like truly feel the love of God, and that's when you're like, you know, I truly believe there's a higher power because this, that. But if you're constantly comfortable and you're just going to the mosque, doing your nap, like every day, thinking like it's not conscious. Like I remember this Ramadan, I was like, in the first half, I was telling my ustad, I was like, yeah, it's cool and all, but I just feel like I'm in a routine, like it's repetitive. Like I'm not actually feeling the acts I'm doing. And he was like, well, you should like, figure out what's wrong, and like, actually like talk to your nefs about like how can you actually like feel like Ramadan is changing you. And once I started doing it, understanding like to look into Salah, okay, this is why I pray, this is why I do the way I do, you just become more consciously aware, and you like feel more connected. But if I was to just sit there and like was like, well, everybody's doing Ramadan this way, I'm certain this is how Ramadan's supposed to go, I would have not felt more connected and felt spiritually, better at the end of Ramadan. I think a lot of times people are just super scared of the unknown, and I hope Rona taught them the unknown. It's bad, but like there's good things come out of it if you keep fighting for it. So
yeah, and all the Rona did is it showed us that we're always living on the unknown, right? That any kind of stability and routine is a very thin illusion in some ways, that your life can change in a moment always.